Once upon a time, in a land bathed in sunlight and filled with laughter, there was a village so beautiful it looked like it was painted in a picture. This enchanting village was home to King Chima, a ruler adored by all for his wisdom and kindness. King Chima had a large family with 2 wives. His first wife, Yuli, blessed him with 3 daughters as radiant as the morning sun. His second wife, Yuchi, gave him 2 brave sons, the future kings of the land. The princesses, known for their playful hearts, spent their days running barefoot through the palace grounds, laughing and playing without a care. They loved to splash in the jumping water river, their clothes muddied and their hair in disarray, feeling joyous and free. But not everyone believed princesses should behave this way. Some people whispered that they were too wild, questioning why they didn't act like royalty. Their mother, concerned, often sat them down, her voice soft yet firm, reminding them, "You are princesses, my darlings. It's time to start acting like it." But the princesses would only giggle, their spirits as free as the wind. They wanted to play, to explore, and to love the earth like everyone else. And so, they continued to dance with the world, their hearts as wild and free as the beautiful village they called home. In this village, there was a yearly festival, a festival not just for anyone, but for the princes. The festival was held to help the princes find their brides. The village square would come alive with colorful music and the sweet scent of festival foods. Beautiful girls from near and far would gather, dressed in their finest clothes, dancing gracefully in hopes of catching the eye of one of the princes. But from the palace window, the 3 princesses watched, their minds far away from the glitter and gold below. When men came to ask for their hands, the princesses always found reasons to say no. One was too proud, claiming his wealth could buy love. Another sighed, uninterested. Even when a rich man from a distant village came with a bounty of gifts, asking to marry all 3, the princesses only shook their heads. "We're not interested," they said, splashing water at the idea of being one of 7 wives. This puzzled everyone in the village. How foolish, they said. They turned down all those rich and powerful men. King Chima and Queen Yuli were baffled and a bit saddened. "Why won't you marry? Your brothers are ready and you're getting older," they asked. But the princesses just smiled and said, "We'll know when we find true love." As the seasons changed and the moon danced in the sky, the princesses watched their brothers marry and live happily with their brides. Something stirred in their hearts. Perhaps, just maybe, it was time to open their hearts to love. But it had to be true love, the kind that saw them as they truly were. One evening, under a sky full of stars, the princesses approached their father, King Chima, with a request that raised his eyebrows in surprise. "Father," they said, their voices echoing with hope, "we want our own festival, a festival where men can show us their skills and talents. We want to find love, but it must be true love." King Chima looked into their eyes and saw the sincerity shining back. He knew his daughters were different, their spirits free and wild. At first, he hesitated, it wasn't part of the tradition. But then, perhaps, he thought this could be their way to find love. So, with a nod and a heart full of hope, he agreed. "Let there be a festival," he announced. Word spread like wildfire from the corners of the village to distant lands. Suitors were eager to win the hearts of the 3 princesses. They practiced their skills, polished their talents, and dreamed of love. The village buzzed with excitement. Tailors sold beautiful garments, cooks prepared feasts, and musicians tuned their instruments. It would be a festival like no other. The festival day arrived, and the village square was abuzz with anticipation. Men from near and far arrived, determined to win the princesses' hearts. They came with their best smiles, bulging muscles, and hands full of gifts. Some brought gold, others boasted of their lands, and many showcased their strength and beauty, hoping to catch a princess's eye. But the princesses watched quietly, their eyes sparkling with mischief. They saw the suitors' efforts, each trying to outdo the other. But deep down, they knew that gold and strength were not what they sought. They wanted someone who could see beyond the surface, who could understand their hearts. As the sun began to dip, casting a golden light across the village, the princesses stood before the crowd. "We have a challenge," they announced, their voices clear and strong. "To win our hearts, you must do more than show your wealth or strength. You must guess our real names." A hush fell over the crowd. Names? But who knew the princesses' names? They were known far and wide as the Three Foolish Princesses. Their real names were a mystery to all. The suitors were stunned. Guess their names? It was a task that seemed impossible. They had prepared to show their might and wealth, not to guess names. Murmurs spread through the crowd, a mix of confusion and curiosity. How could they find the names of the princesses? But the princesses stood firm, their challenge hanging in the air like a riddle. It was a test not of wealth or strength, but of wisdom and patience. They wanted to see who would look beyond the titles, who would take the time to truly know them. In the village, where everyone was busy guessing and whispering about the princess's challenge, lived a man named Okon. Okon was known to all, but not for reasons one might expect. He was the village drunkard, often seen stumbling and mumbling, his days spent in a haze of laughter and wine. Most considered him foolish, a man of no consequence. But beneath the surface, there was more to Okon than met the eye. When Okon heard about the princess's challenge, something stirred within him. He saw what others didn't a chance, a glimmer of hope. "Why not me?" he thought. "Why can't I win the hearts of the princesses?" So, with a determination that surprised even himself, Okon set out on a quest to discover the true names of the three princesses. Day after day, Okon followed the princesses not too close, just a shadow among the trees. He watched them laugh and play, their spirits as free as the birds above. But no matter how closely he listened, their names remained a mystery. They called each other by nicknames, their voices wrapped in a secret language of smiles and glances. Then one day, fate took a hand. As the princesses wandered near the forest edge, the youngest, full of joy and mischief, didn't see the hidden pit before her. With a gasp and a tumble, she fell in, her laughter turning to cries of fright. "Help!" she cried, her voice echoing through the trees. "Please, someone!" Okon, hidden behind a bush, watched in shock. This was his chance not to win a challenge, but to do something good, something right. But before he could move, he heard the eldest princess shout, "Amma, to the rescue!" Then the middle one called out, "Leela's coming too." Okon's eyes widened. The names of the princesses spilled like precious gems. He watched as Amma and Leela worked together, finding a long stick to help their sister hold on. Tina, they called, their voices filled with love and concern. With a heave and a hoe, the sisters pulled Tina from the pit, their arms wrapping around her in a tight hug. Okon, still hidden, felt warmth in his heart. He had found their names, but he had also seen the love they shared, a love that went beyond any challenge. Filled with a new resolve, Okon stepped out from his hiding place, his heart beating like a drum. He knew what he had to do. With a shout that carried across the village, he declared, "I know their names." Amma, Leela, Tina. The village turned in astonishment. Okon, the one they called a fool, had done what none could. He had discovered the secret that lay at the heart of the challenge. It was a moment of triumph, not just for Okon, but for the princesses too. They had found someone who saw beyond the games, someone who had taken the time to truly know them. As the news spread, the village buzzed with excitement. Okon, once the village drunkard, was now the talk of the town. His strategy, born of patience and observation, had revealed the true names of the princesses. It was a story that would be told for generations, a tale of unexpected heroism and the power of looking beyond appearances. As the village gathered, eyes wide and whispers loud, Okon stood before King Chima, the princesses by his side. The air was thick with anticipation. Okon, once thought a mere village drunkard, held the attention of all. "I know the names of your daughters," he declared proudly. Amma, Leela, Tina. But Okon had one more surprise, a secret that would change everything. "I am not who you think I am," he began, his voice steady and strong. "I am Prince Okon from a neighboring village. I came here not as a fool, but in disguise to learn the true hearts of your daughters." The village gasped, eyes turning from Okone to the princesses, then back again. The man they had mocked was a prince, wise and cunning, who had seen past the game to the truth beneath. The princesses smiled at Okone, their eyes shining with respect and something deeper, a connection forged in understanding and kindness. They had seen many suitors, men of wealth and strength, but none had sought to know them as Okone had. He had shown wisdom, seen beyond titles and appearances to the heart of who they were. King Chima, moved by Okone's revelation and his daughter's happiness, agreed to the marriages. "You have proven yourself wise and true," he said to Okone, "worthy of my daughters." The weddings were like no other, celebrations that filled the village with music, laughter, and joy. Amma, Leela, and Tina, the three princesses once thought foolish, stood proudly beside Prince Okone, their hearts united in love and respect. As the princesses set off with Prince Okone to begin their new lives, the village was left in a state of wonder. They had judged the princesses and Okone, labeling them foolish without truly seeing their hearts. But love, as the princesses and Okone showed, was not about titles or appearances. It was about understanding, respect, and seeing the true worth of a person. The story of the three princesses and Prince Okone became a legend, a story of wisdom, equality, and the power of love. It reminded everyone that true nobility did not come from birth or wealth, but from the wisdom of the heart and the courage to see beyond the surface. And as the sun set, casting a golden glow over the land, the people whispered the day's wonders, their hearts filled with new understanding. The princesses and Prince Okone, now bound by love and wisdom, journeyed forward, leaving behind a village forever changed by the lessons of their story.